My co-working desk neighbor takes phone calls on speaker. Full volume. All day. When I asked if he could use headphones, he said speakerphone is better for his vocal authenticity because the other person can hear his full sound spectrum. He called it acoustic transparency. Said headphones compress his voice and make him sound less trustworthy to client. I'm listening to him negotiate a contract about custom sock. At full volume. For 3 hours. This guy brings a full blender to his desk every morning. Makes smoothies. At 9 a.m. Right next to my laptop. The sound is unreal. When someone finally said something, he explained that fresh is better than pre-made because nutrients oxidize. He needs his smoothie at exactly 9:07 a.m. for optimal absorption. Called it chronological nutrition. He has a printed chart showing his body's peak smoothie acceptance window. It's laminated. One day he heats fish in the shared microwave. Different fish every day after that. Same smell. Someone put up a sign saying no fish. He took it down and replaced it with his own sign that said dietary discrimination. Told the front desk that his Nordic heritage requires daily fish consumption and banning it violates his cultural expression. He called it ancestral eating right. Brought in a 3-page document about it. Then he starts doing his entire skincare routine at his workspace. I'm talking cleanser, toner, serum, moisturizer, the full spa experience. Takes 40 minutes. During work hours. When the co-working manager mentioned the bathrooms, he said his skin needs immediate post-coffee treatment because caffeine causes facial dehydration. He called it preventative dermis maintenance. Has his products in a labeled tackle box. Get this, he listens to motivational podcasts without headphones. Just plays them out loud while he works. Tony Robbins screaming about breakthrough moments while I'm trying to answer emails. When I asked him to use headphones, he said the audio needs to penetrate the space for maximum manifestation energy. He called it ambient success frequency. Said my productivity would improve from passive exposure. It hasn't. One afternoon he clips his nails at his desk. All 10 fingers. Then starts on his toes. Shoes off. Full pedicure situation. Someone asked him to stop and he said hand and foot care is professional maintenance, same as checking your hair. He called it extremity hygiene optimization. Said keeping his nails at exactly 2 millimeters length improves his typing accuracy. Brought calipers to prove it. He brings his emotional support plant to the desk. It's a cactus. In a pot. Takes up half the shared table. When someone said it's in the way, he explained that berry, yes, he named it, reduces his workplace anxiety through silent companionship. He called it botanical emotional regulation. Has to water berry at exactly 11:30 a.m. or his stress levels spike. Barry has his own desk nameplate. Then he starts doing jumping jacks at his desk. Just stands up randomly and starts doing them. Full workout between emails. When the manager said something, he explained that sedentary work causes lymphatic stagnation and jumping disperses the buildup. He called it dynamic detox intervals. Said sitting for more than 47 minutes creates toxin pocket. Has a timer that beeps. Everyone hears it. One day he takes his shoes off and props his bare feet on the shared desk. Right next to the communal mouse pad. When someone pointed it out, he said shoes restrict circulation and elevated feet improve cognitive function. He called it cranial blood optimization. Showed everyone a TikTok about it. His feet are there for 6 hours a day. He brushes his teeth at his workspace. Not in the bathroom, at the desk. Full 2-minute brush with a travel toothbrush. Spits into a coffee cup when someone asked about the bathroom. He said walking interrupts his workflow momentum. He called it efficiency hygiene. Said he saves 8 minutes daily by not leaving his chair. Tracks it in a spreadsheet. This guy wears a headlamp. Indoors. At a fully lit co-working space. Says the overhead lighting creates shadow interference on his screen. He called it directional illumination control. Has the headlamp on the brightest setting. It's like working next to a lighthouse. When someone asked him to turn it off, he adjusted it to strobe mode to prove the regular setting was reasonable. He does full conference calls while walking around the space. Not sitting at his desk, just pacing the entire floor for an hour while talking about Q3 projections. When people complained, he said walking meetings increase creative neural activation by 60%. He called it kinetic cognitive enhancement. Walked into my desk twice during one call. Then he starts eating hard-boiled eggs. Every day, peels them at the desk. The smell is unbelievable. When someone mentioned it, he said eggs are the perfect protein-to-cost ratio for sustainable workplace nutrition. He called it economic biological fuel. Showed everyone his meal prep spreadsheet. Eats 6 eggs between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. The yolks are green. One morning he starts stretching at his desk. Full yoga poses. Downward dog facing my laptop. When the manager said something, he explained that his hamstring flexibility directly correlates to his creative output. He called it muscular cerebral synchronization. Said his best ideas come during pigeon pose. Does it for 20 minutes every hour. His mat stays rolled under the desk. He FaceTimes his dog at lunch. Every single day. Full conversations with a pug for 30 minutes. When someone asked him to take it elsewhere, he said his dog has separation anxiety and needs midday check-ins for behavioral stability. He called it remote emotional tethering. The dog just stares at the screen. Sometimes barks. Everyone can hear it. This guy records voice memos to himself. Constantly. Just picks up his phone and talks through his thoughts out loud. Ideas, reminders, observations about people in the co-working space. When I asked about typing them instead, he said vocal processing activates different brain regions than written. He called it auditory cognitive mapping. I'm in half his memos. He brings a full French press and grinds coffee beans at his desk. The grinder sounds like a chainsaw. When someone complained, he said pre-ground coffee loses its volatile aromatics within 15 minutes. He called it bean oxidation prevention. Needs freshly ground coffee every 2 hours for sustained focus. The grinder runs for 90 seconds. 4 times a day. One day he does his taxes at the communal desk. Spreads out receipts, forms, and bank statements across the entire shared workspace. When someone needed space, he said he requires visual organization for financial processing. He called it spatial accounting methodology. Had receipts from 2019 covering 3 desks. Said he couldn't move them or he'd lose his place. He takes hour-long personal calls about his divorce. At the desk, full details about custody and the affair. When someone finally said something, he explained that processing emotional trauma out loud prevents it from becoming workplace resentment. He called it verbal therapeutic discharge. Said bottling feelings reduces productivity by 40%. Cried twice during one call. We all heard it. Then he brings a percussion massager and uses it at his desk. On his neck, back, and legs. Sounds like a jackhammer. When people complained, he said muscle tension causes decision-making impairment and immediate relief prevents cognitive decline. He called it tissue brain optimization. Uses it for 10-minute intervals. Every hour. Has different attachments for different muscle group. Labels them. He practices his stand-up comedy routine at his desk. Just says the jokes out loud while working. Testing punchlines. When the manager asked him to stop, he said verbal rehearsal is industry-standard practice for performers. He called it comedic muscle memory development. His act is about annoying coworkers. We're all in it. He works on the same 3 jokes for week. One morning he starts doing breathing exercises. Loudly. Full Wim Hof method with aggressive exhales. When I asked about it, he said controlled hyperventilation increases oxygen to the prefrontal cortex and improves strategic thinking. He called it respiratory cognitive enhancement. Does 3 rounds every morning. Sounds like he's dying. Everyone stops working to make sure he's okay. This guy brings his own office chair. Not the co-working ones. His own ergonomic throne that he wheels in every morning. When the manager said it blocks the walkway, he explained that standard chairs cause spinal compression that reduces his productivity by 35%. He called it vertebral workflow optimization. The chair has a headrest, lumbar support, and footrest. Takes up space for 2 people. Has a lock on it,